To set up your Okta integration with Lucidchart, you first need to be able to make sure that you can log into both Okta and Lucidchart as an admin. Once you confirm that, let's navigate to our admin panel in Okta and click on the Add Applications button in the right-hand toolbar of our screen. Enter Lucidchart in the search bar and click the Add button. On the first part of our setup, we need to add our domain and click the Next button. Make sure when you add your domain you leave the www out, as it can create issues in the setup down the road. On the next page, we need to scroll down and select SAML 2.0. Then click the View Setup Instructions button. This will open up a separate tab with instructions on how to copy the Okta metadata into Lucidchart. Go ahead and scroll down and copy all the metadata from the text box. Once the metadata is copied, we need to head over to Lucidchart and select the Team option in the top right corner. From the admin panel, click on the App Integration tile and then select the SAML option. Check the box to enable SAML integration and then add your domain the same as it appears in Okta. Once that's done, make sure to click Save Changes, then click on the plus sign to add Okta as our identity provider. In the dialog box that pops up, type Okta for the identity provider name, then paste the metadata that we copied into the text box. After that's pasted, click on the blue Add Provider button. Now we need to go back into Okta. You'll notice there's a drop-down box that allows you to specify the application username format. Make sure to select the email option from that list and then click Done. Now that we've integrated Okta and Lucidchart, let's go back to Lucidchart and click on the Identity Management tile in our admin panel. We want to enable the appropriate login options that you want to provide for your users. So go ahead and select or deselect the different login methods and then take a look at the default authentication option. Since we just integrated Okta, I'm going to select SAML as the default and then click Save. Now that we've set up SAML, we're ready to set up SCIM provisioning. While we're still in Lucidchart, select the licensing tile in your admin panel. You need to make sure the option to upgrade your team to a larger size is checked. Since we'll need to generate an API token from Lucidchart in a few steps, let's go to our App Integration tile again and select the SCIM tile. You will then need to generate a token and copy the text in the bearer token field. Now let's head back over to Okta and click on the Provisioning tab. Then select the Configure API Integration box. This will now display the option to enable API integration. Check that box and you'll notice that a new field appears for an API token. Paste the bearer token we copied from Lucidchart and then click Save. Now we want to enable the provisioning options that are displayed. Click the Edit button and then select each of the options and then click on the Save button. Now that our SAML and SCIM integrations are set up, I'll show you how to create groups inside of Okta so that you can assign licenses to the appropriate users and view-only licenses to the rest of the organization. View-only licenses are free with your enterprise account, and making sure to set up the organization with view-only access ensures that as licensed users are collaborating and sharing their documents with other teams, everyone at a minimum will be able to view and comment on the documents that are being shared with them. To set up these two groups, we will need to navigate to our group directory, and in this case, create a new group. The first group will be our licensed user group. After naming the group, click on the Manage Applications button and assign Lucidchart to the group. Then scroll down and select the drop box next to the Can Edit field and click on True to grant Lucidchart licenses to this group. Once that's done, click on Save and start adding users to the licensed user group. Now let's do the same thing for our view-only users, except this time we'll select False in the Can Edit field. Once this view-only group has been created, it is recommended to add the rest of the organization so that once again, your teams with full access licenses can still share and collaborate with other users across the organization without any issues. At this point, there are two things I'll point out. First, if you have Active Directory groups, the steps we just went through to assign the Lucidchart app and grant full and view-only access will be the same. Second, if you deactivate or deprovision the user in Okta, their Lucidchart account will be deprovisioned and disabled, but you can still access their account from Lucidchart as an admin to transfer their documents and permanently delete that user seat. We have now set up our SAML and SCIM integrations, we've successfully set up our fully licensed and view-only licensed users, and now we're ready to go.